I mean, well, let's don't wishy-washy about it. Is the NFL scripted or is it not?
Man, I think they got billions of reasons to have an interest in who's there.
Is the NFL scripted? And I'm going to yell it a little louder because I don't think you heard me. Is
Okay.
the NFL scripted or is it not?
Absolutely. There you go.
Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, so you're a flat earther, NFL scripted.
No,
So we're going all the way that way.
I'm
All
not
the way
getting
with
into
the
all the other
conspiracy theory.
conspiracies, but sometimes when you start labeling yourself sports entertainment and there's billions of dollars on the line, I don't believe there's not some people, blowing some wind in the sail to make the boat move, if that makes sense.
Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Big B Daily Show. This is your man, Big B, Brien Hanley. We appreciate you guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time. We are live. We're live on TikTok. What's going on, TikTok? And we are live on YouTube. What is happening? What is happening? So we're kind of going to get through the topics pretty quick today, and we're going to get to the open mic session because there's a lot going on, a lot to talk about. So I appreciate everybody being here, man. So let's get to it. Again, TikTok. Keep tapping the screen. Need at least 5,000 likes and 30 new follows. So if you're in here, please give us a follow, man. We appreciate it. And also click on that YouTube link in my bio and come on over to YouTube and subscribe over to YouTube to Big B Sports Talk and check out the live. So, but let's get into it. So the first thing is last night, college basketball, North Carolina, who I thought was one of the better teams in the country and still is, loses at home to Clemson. Man, first of all, Clemson, they've only won there. This is the second time in like 64 years that they've won at North Carolina. I mean, to me, that is insane. And I know Clemson doesn't have great basketball and UNC does, but only twice in 64 years you can win on the road to a team that you play every year? Whew. That's crazy. That is crazy. But I think that kind of shows the gap between North Carolina and maybe in a Clemson and how good North Carolina's been for so long. But the one thing, Clemson also has a really good team this year. They had a little struggles about the middle, I would say the beginning of January to about the middle of January. They lost some games in a row once conference season started, but Clemson's got a good team. So while it's an upset, and it is, North Carolina is they had a bad game. They just had a bad game. Clemson played well. It's okay. But North Carolina, I got a feeling, is going to be there at the end. As long as they can defend, which somebody over on TikTok said Baycott couldn't defend. Yeah, he got cooked last night. He got cooked. I mean, that's one of the reasons he's not in the NBA, because he can't guard. And you got to be able to do something, either step out and hit jump shots or guard as a big man in the NBA, and he can't do that. So we'll see what happens. But I like North Carolina. I still like their team, but don't sleep on the Clemson team. I think Clemson is an NCAA tournament team. I believe they are. But it was a good, big upset, though. But Clemson should have beat Duke. What was that, 2 weeks ago? And they got duked. They got Cameron Indoor. They got one of them Duke calls at the end of the game. Clemson would have won that game, should have won that game. But they got, let's just call it, hosed. And Duke is not better than UNC. They just played, and it was a beatdown. So stop it. So how do I like South Carolina? South Carolina should have been ranked 2 weeks ago. And you know they should have been ranked 2 weeks ago. Have you ever heard of anybody going from unranked to 15? It usually doesn't happen. So South Carolina is a good basketball team. So a good basketball team. And I'm glad because South Carolina, it's like they got this big arena and they want to be good in men's college basketball, but they've never really been good. They had that 1 year under Frank Martin where they went to the Final Four, but hell, before that, they hadn't won an NCAA tournament game since 1971. Whew. Which is wild. But college basketball is starting to heat up, man. It is starting to heat up. There were some crazy games again. Big 12 action last night. Just Big 12 by far. And I don't know if you guys are paying enough attention or paying attention at all, but the Big 12 is definitely the best college basketball conference in the country. And it's not even close. It's not even close. I like the ACC. I like the SEC. I like the Big East. I like college basketball as a whole. But if we are being honest, and I don't even think, you can lie to yourself, but the Big 12 is just the best conference. It just is. I love that Kelvin Sampson stood on business last night and got thrown out. The officiating in college basketball has become absolutely insane. His guy got almost mugged right in front of the official. They called nothing. He just walked out on the court and said, "What the hell are you guys doing? Enough is enough. Enough is enough." I love it. But every night there's somebody wins that you don't think it. For instance, Texas came off of playing well, gets beat at home by Iowa State. BYU, ranked, playing well, goes to Oklahoma, gets smacked around. Texas Tech is good. Texas Tech is falling off because they can't rebound the ball. They go on the road and lose to Baylor. That's not horrible. But college basketball, I love college basketball. Things are going better for college basketball. I think we got to get over the fact that everybody's a one and done if you're good. And just, hey, man, we just like who we like. It's not the greatest basketball anymore. I'll admit that. Because you don't have the best players. They don't stick around long enough anymore. So I can absolutely admit that. Part of that's the NBA's fault. Is because the NBA, for some reason, if you're a sophomore or a junior and you're not in the NBA, somehow they think by 20, if you haven't peaked, you're not any good. It just, that's insane to me. It's just insane to me. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Let's move on. So Las Vegas, and somebody on TikTok kind of beat me to it, but the Las Vegas mayor is basically saying, nah, we don't want you. And here's what I believe happened. I think the mayor has ties to wherever the land was that was off the strip, that they proposed for the A's to build a stadium. And the A's said, nope. And so they said, well, then you should just try to figure out a way to stay in Oakland. And that's what you're saying. Mayor basically said the area of South Vegas right on the strip where the Tropicana is getting torn down isn't a good spot for them. So I'm just trying to figure out why you wouldn't want a Major League Baseball team that wants to come. They want to come to Vegas. And you agree, okay, yeah, come on. But you got to build it where we want you to build it. And the A's want to be right on the strip. All that, the logistics. So I don't think it's a horrible place. I think it's fine. If you want to build a baseball stadium where the Tropicana was, that's fine. There's traffic. There's already crazy traffic. And if you do it right, there's not going to be a parking lot coming out on the strip. Just make people go the opposite direction. Like when you come out of the game, you can't go towards the strip. You got to go a different way. I think if they do that and they do it right and they do it smart, I think it'll be fine. Because you can't really build any extra roads there. And yeah, I feel bad for Oakland too. I definitely feel bad for Oakland, because the thing that's with Oakland, but I mean, they've lost everything. They lost football, they lost basketball, and now they're about to lose baseball. And there's nothing that well, I take that back. There is something that they could do about it. They didn't want to build the stadiums. So at some point, if you want these teams to stay, you got to pony up something. Yes, I am under the firm belief that some of these teams, they got to pony up some money. They got to pony up some money. And the ones that are in big-time cities, they usually do. Like Steve Ballmer, he foot the bill for the new stadium, but that's in Los Angeles. I mean, that's a different deal than being in Oakland. But hell, Golden State, they were a staple in Oakland. They just moved to San Francisco and built a brand new shiny stadium right down there on the water. The owner chipped in. San Francisco said, yes, we will absolutely take you. And Oakland, they just couldn't figure it out. Probably don't have not probably. They don't have the money. So what are you going to do? So, yeah, I saw they lost an In-N-Out burger as well. Yes, they did. I'm like, gee, many Christmas. It's terrible. I think it should be about 70-30 owner city on funding. Yeah. Or even 60-40. It's got to be something. You got to chip in. You got to chip in. It can't just be nothing. It can't just be nothing. You know? But the thing about it is Vegas, first of all, Vegas is also, I would suspect in the next 5 years, is going to have a basketball team. And I think it's going to be, they keep talking about expansion. They can't expand the league anymore. It's already run down, or watered down, I should say. I think it's just going to be a team moving, like Charlotte. I think Charlotte would just move to Las Vegas. Or maybe even Memphis would just move to Las Vegas. That's what I believe. But Vegas is going to have a basketball team within 5 years. That's going to happen. They keep talking about Seattle. Yeah, it was there. And it was doing fine, but Seattle, again, didn't build an arena. And boom, out of there. I don't think Orlando, I think enough people go to the Magic games. But you could be right. Orlando could be another team that hightail it. You could be right. The Clippers aren't moving. Why would the Clippers move to Vegas? You're in Los Angeles. That makes zero sense. The Clippers aren't moving anywhere. They're not moving anywhere. Nor should they move anywhere. They have no reason to move. Again, you're in Los Angeles. I mean, it's not like when the Raiders moved back to Oakland or anything like that. There's no reason for anybody to move from Los Angeles. And you're saying the Clippers are nothing in L.A., they're just not the Lakers. That doesn't mean they're nothing. They're just not the Lakers. Big difference between being nothing and not the Lakers. So, and they're building a big new arena. They're not building that for nothing. They're trying to separate from the Lakers. I get it. The Lakers are always going to be king. And I don't care. The Clippers could win the next 5 titles in a row. LA is still a Laker town. But that doesn't mean there's not something for the Clippers there. Because if there wasn't, they wouldn't be there. I can assure you of that. I would assure you of that. The Clippers aren't moving anywhere. And y'all got to stop saying that on TikTok. Stop it. They're building $1 billion. I think it's like $3 billion arena. They're building that to move to Vegas. Stop talking. Stop. Gee, many Christmas. You may boycott the Super Bowl, somebody says. Well, good luck to you. Good luck to you. Let's move on here. So, last topic for today is the new sports streaming service. I don't know if you all saw this, but ESPN, Fox, and Warner Brothers are teaming up to make like a huge streaming service. Like a super streaming service where they're going to put everything on there. So now people that are complain about having to have 3 and 4 and 5 different services to watch stuff, they're not going to have to do that. They'll have one place. Now, what that price is going to be, that'll be a different conversation. But for sports, I like that. Now, they're not going to have the Sunday ticket, but they'll have everything else. I mean, they'll have baseball. They'll have basketball. They'll have college football. They'll have hockey. I'm sure they'll have some UFC stuff and boxing stuff. I mean, they are going to have sports. So that's how they're doing it. They're combining with Warner Brothers, Fox, and ESPN to have one big streaming service for everything. Everybody's going to own a third. It'll be weird how Fox and ESPN are together, but if their lawyers figured it out, then we as consumers can figure it out. Because that's basically what's happening. Their lawyers have figured it out. So if they figured it out, then we need to figure it out. But I like it. Some people on TikTok said, I'd pay it if it's worth it. Yeah, I'll pay it. Now, depending on what it is, that's the difference. And you're 1,000,000% right. There's no Sunday ticket because YouTube TV ain't giving that up. So the NFL, that's why I'm with YouTube TV, is because of Sunday ticket. I stayed and paid those high-ass premiums from DirecTV for years. And as soon as I got the opportunity to go to YouTube TV, I was out of there. I was out of there. Because I'm a Steelers fan. I don't live in Pittsburgh. We don't get the games. I don't like going to sports bars watching football games, watching my Steelers. I don't like doing that. I've done that before. It's not the same experience for me. So I was willing to pay, not to mention if you go to, let's just say you went to a sports bar for 10 games. Well, what are you spending at the sports bar? $70, $80 to stay there, to eat, to drink. $70, $80 a game. I mean, that's upwards of $600, $700 for the season. Well, and then you had to drive and whatever. Well, I can just watch it at my house, and I paid, I think it was $300. And that was for the whole year. And I didn't have to go anywhere to watch it. Oh, by the way, I can watch 4 different games at once sitting in my house. Yeah, I'll do that. Sign me up for that. Sign me up for that. The whole YouTube and the whole quad view is a game changer. I don't know about you all, but I think that's a game changer. And as soon as YouTube TV decides that you can choose the games that are in your quad view, will anybody else not have YouTube TV? See, right now, they choose the games for you. But if you can choose the 4 games that go into that, oh, my God. I mean, it'll be a game changer. It'll be a game changer. They already changed it. When did they change it? I don't remember them doing that. They have the quad view now, but you can't. Yeah, you have the options for multi-view, but you can't change. You can't decide what multi-view is in. You just have the option to look at multi-view, but you can't decide what game to put in the 4. But if they get that, then it's crazy. Yeah, I haven't been able to look and see and be able to choose the games. I can go to multi-view, and maybe I need to go look again because y'all are telling me that you can do it. I was just looking at it last night, and I couldn't change anything. I couldn't decide what game went in there. So, I don't have Red Zone. I don't have Red Zone. Streaming is becoming expensive. But I'll tell you what, you pay for what to be entertained. And like I said, I saved $220 a month by not being with DirecTV anymore. That was ridiculous. I get the same channels that I wanted and just going through YouTube TV. I get literally the same channels. I was disgusted when I saw how much, because, you get a cable bill, you're not paying that much attention. I mean, I penny pinch, don't get me wrong, but Lord have mercy. What can I do with an extra $220 a month? Lord. Well, I found some things to do with it. Most importantly, just keep it in my bank account. But yeah, that new streaming service, it's going to be interesting how that works. I'll be really interested to see. I mean, it's all big business, but I'll be really interested to see. So I will see. I will see. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Specific channels you can't choose. But I'll go and check. I appreciate y'all giving me the heads up, because I will 100% go and check and see if you can choose the game that you want. So here's the thing. The competitors expect to form the joint service at a time when the value of sports media rights is spiking and viewers have moved away from watching traditional cable, even as ratings for the National Football League, National Basketball Association have spiked. So here's a quote. While we look forward to learning more about the new venture, we're encouraged by the opportunity to make premier sports content more accessible to fans who are not subscribers to the traditional cable or satellite bundle. That's what an NBA spokesman said. So it's going to be there. It's going to make it more accessible. Like I said, they got to roll it out so we can see how it gets rolled out and how all that works. But we'll find out. We will find out. But I love YouTube TV, though. I love it. I love it. And like I said, as soon as DirecTV lost the Sunday ticket, I was out of there. I was out of there. And it's not that I didn't even like DirecTV, because I thought it was fine. It just cost too damn much. That's the whole thing. It just costs too much. Plus, I mean, I live here in north of Dallas, and we get crazy weather from time to time, especially during tornado season. I was tired of my weather just my TV being out. And I'm like, where is this tornado? Where is the weather? Nowhere. I can't find it. Now, if the tornado comes and it knocks out my internet, that probably means there's something going on with my house and I need to get the hell out of there. Need to get the hell out. But why would I need to check out YouTube TV on Reddit? That's what somebody's saying. What do I need to do? I mean, I already have YouTube TV. So, yeah, you're right. CEO but that's for every business, though. If we're going to talk about CEOs and their bonuses, that every business has that issue. Everybody has that problem. So, but I get it. I get it. I get it. I appreciate y'all, man. Keep me up to speed. I love my sports, but technology is not my thing. Technology is not my thing. I appreciate the Goon Squad, y'all keeping me up to speed, but technology has never been my thing. I can talk all day and night about sports, all day and night. Technology, I mean, I can change the channel. I can type a little bit. But that's about where everything comes to a halt with me. I can use my phone a little bit, depending on what we need to use the phone for. I can't use it for everything. So I appreciate y'all keeping me up to speed. So Reddit, YouTube TV forum. On it. Appreciate it, brother. Again, man, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time. We are live on TikTok. We are live on YouTube. We appreciate everybody being here. Thank you for your support. Again, if you're on TikTok, keep tapping the screen. We need 5,000 likes. We're almost there. We're at 4. We at least need 5. I'd love 10, but at least 5. And if you're not following, please give us a follow, man. At least give us a follow. And if you're feeling frisky, go to my bio and click on the YouTube link and come subscribe over to YouTube, Big B Sports Talk on YouTube, and come join the live chat over there. So I appreciate it. Now let's get into some other stuff. Let's move on. Y'all ask some questions here, and let's talk about some stuff here and figure some things out. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, hold on. The deal right now for that new streaming service is valued at roughly $2 billion annually. Over 7 years, DirecTV had been paying $1.5 billion a year. Well, there you have it. YouTube TV's paying a bundle, but I'll take it. I like it. The Sunday ticket, baby. National Football League and its Sunday ticket package. Out-of-market games would land on Google's YouTube. I love it. I love it. Can't have enough of it, people. Cannot get enough of YouTube TV and what they did. Changed my life. It really did. All that sports, 4 different screens, changed my damn life. But let's move on. So what would you do if you were Chicago? If I were Chicago, I would keep Justin Fields, man. I don't want to get rid of Justin Fields if I'm Chicago. I would take Marvin Harrison first. I would take a tackle, whether you can get Alt or the kid out of Penn State. That's what I would do if I'm Chicago. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to trade Justin Fields and draft Caleb Williams. And if that's what they want to do, okay. Now, the one thing I can say about that is that Chicago isn't just one player away. So if they trade Justin Fields, they're not going to get a first-round pick. If a franchise is dumb enough to give you a first for him, they're insane. But you could get a second or a third because they need players. They need players. So if that's their goal, okay. I just wouldn't. I would keep Fields. But hey, I think they're going to have a different plan. I think they're going to trade Fields and draft Williams and move on from there. They still need another weapon. But you can find them. They're going to be out there. So Fields is not worth multiple picks over a third. No, he's not. So nobody's going to give you 2 second-round picks for Justin Fields. They're not doing that. Contract year. It's not like Fields has played great. So why would you've seen what he does. Why would you give somebody like 2 seconds or 2 first or a first and a second for Justin Fields? You're not going to know franchise. I shouldn't say no franchise is going to do that because somebody will do it. But we'll see. We will see. My man Pat Cockrell says you were right about the Tech game, Big B. We're so close to being a really good team, but damn, the lack of ability to rebound consistently is killing us. Yeah. You're exactly right. There's a problem on YouTube. Y'all keep making the comments, man. We'll get them over. It just didn't connect on my screen. So I see you guys over there. My producer in the background is doing his best, so we appreciate it. My man Mike DeRuler, he's in there. Austin, ESPN needs to solve the UFC pay-per-views. They're $80. Yeah, they got to figure something out. So they got to do something. Mike DeRuler says move the Jazz to Vegas, right down the highway. I don't think that's a horrible idea if the Jazz move to Vegas. Y'all think that's a horrible idea? I don't. Now, that's never going to happen because, the Utah fans go crazy for their team. So it's never going to happen, but it wouldn't be horrible. Wouldn't be horrible. So we'll get to that and figure that out. What's going on, my man? Capone? Move the Wizards. The Wizards aren't moving out of D.C. They got to get a new arena, it sounds like, but they're not going to move out of D.C. Do I think Kansas City will ever get an NBA team again? No. No, Kansas City's not getting an NBA team. Too much competition. They compete with KU. Now, some people have the opposite thoughts on that. They think some of the bandwagon KU fans that are just fans of KU because they don't have anybody else to root for in Kansas City, that those fans would flop over and start being whatever the Kansas City franchise team would be. That might be true. So, why is Kansas City in Missouri? Most of the city is in Missouri. So, that's why. My honest opinion on Tony Romo talking points. If Tony Romo, and I'm going to use a word that the young kids use these days, if Tony Romo would just stop glazing over all these quarterbacks, I think Tony Romo would be fine. But Tony Romo, again, I'm going to use one of these words that the kids use, does all the meat riding and glazing over the quarterbacks versus just calling the game. My goodness, it gets ridiculous. It just gets ridiculous. So I don't know. That's just my personal thought. What team would not say no to the A's? What do you mean, what team? I think you meant what city. Romo smoking Jeters. Who says that? Have you been in a TikTok chat or a YouTube chat in the last, 5 years? Because if you have, you know that anybody 25 years or younger, that's all they talk about. Meat riding and glazing. That's all they say. It's literally all they say. You can't even compliment anybody anymore. If I have a good player or a player that I like, stop glazing. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I like this guy. I'm talking good about it. I like him. Oh, you're meat riding. Oh, my God. What the hell's going on? Jiminy Christ. Yes. Stop the cap. Yes. Jiminy Christmas. That's what everybody said. I'm like, oh, my goodness. You can't even have a favorite player anymore. So you just, okay, I like basketball. Well, do you have any players? No, I don't like any players. Because if I say that I like a player, I'm going to get accused of glazing, meat riding. Oh, my God. It's insane. They just keep going. You just keep going. What are you going to do? Hey, they keep me young, man. They keep me on my toes, and they keep me young. That's why I love doing this for y'all every day, man. I love it. So, see, here it is. Everyone meat rides Colorado. Oh, my God. That was the whole, see, somebody in here saying, you capping. Capping? Now, when did capping mean lying? Well, I don't understand. Like, I used to wear a baseball cap every day. That meant I was lying every day? What the hell is going on? I can't keep up, though. I don't have any kids. I can't keep up. I'm 48. Y'all keep me young, man. Just keep going. I'll ride with you. So, do you know baseball? Not more than me, but do you know baseball? Yeah, I know some baseball. I'm not going to talk baseball today. And my team is the Mets. So about, the middle of May, I stopped talking about baseball because the Mets suck. And so it gets annoying. But I know some baseball. Yep, I do. Caleb is not the savior. I couldn't agree more, bro. But the Bears never learned. The Bears organization is horrendous. The Bears organization is absolutely horrendous. So, no, they'd never learn. But you're right. The Caleb Williams is not the savior. And let me slide this way. See, y'all see that little Mets TikTok over my shoulder there? You got the little Mets banner. Yeah, I'm a diehard Mets fan. I have been forever. And it's troubling. It's painful at times. It's painful. So it is very painful. But what steroid era was the best? I mean, I don't. People hate it when I say that, but I didn't mind the steroid era. Because first of all, they said 70% of players were taking steroids. I think that's a lie. I think it was higher. I think it was closer to 85%. That's my personal opinion, and you can't shake me from it. And the reason that I believe that is because everybody was doing it, and the amount of money that you could make by doing it, it is what it is. I mean, you had guys like Melky Cabrera all of a sudden hitting 40 home runs a year. Jiminy Christmas. You know, it was what it was. Or then, remember Pudge? Pudge Rodriguez, for all those years, outstanding. They come out with the rule that they're going to start doing all this testing. Pudge Rodriguez in 3 months lost like 45 pounds. Huh? And Pudge was a great catcher. But you're telling me that just at his age, I'm just going to lose 45 pounds. Stop the nonsense. Stop capping, Pudge. Stop capping. You know what I'm saying? Stop all that capping. Yeah. See, I can use it too, people. I can use it too. Stop all that capping. But yeah, I think I think 85% of baseball players were using steroids back then. It is what it is. They used it. Major League Baseball knew that they were using it. They needed something to come back after the 1984 lockout or strike, whichever one you want to call it. They needed that when they lost the World Series. Everybody had tuned off baseball, and nobody missed it. Everybody was like, okay, football will be here in a minute. Screw you, baseball. They needed something. They did it. It is what it is. So now, them keeping people out of the Hall of Fame over it and only select people out of the Hall of Fame is BS to me. Big Papi got caught cheating, but because everybody loves Big Papi, he's in. Manny Ramirez was twice the baseball player that Big Papi was. And yet, Manny Ramirez is not going. Now, Manny Ramirez just kept cheating, just like A-Rod. 3 times the player, 4 times the player of Big Papi. You knew he cheated. Oh, man, I can't think of the first baseman for the Astros. I cannot think of his name. Somebody help me out. You knew he was cheating. Bagwell. He was cheating. Papi did cheat. Stop it. Everybody knows it. He failed the test. We know it. Stop. So, man, Alex Rodriguez needs to be in a Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens. Stop all the craziness, people. And then my whole thing is the people that vote, it's just the arrogancy of the sports writers. You knew those guys were taking steroids all that time, but yet you kept giving them Cy Youngs. You kept giving them MVPs. And now, when it's time to give them their ultimate glory, no, we're not going to let them be in the Hall of Fame. What? It just makes no sense. It makes no sense. Yeah, Barry Bonds was tested over and over again, and he didn't fail either. Stop the cap. Stop capping about Papi. Stop capping. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is, people. Going on to basketball, college basketball. Hold on. You're going to tell me that Nolan Ryan was not on the juice throwing 100 miles an hour at 45 years old? Thank you. Thank you. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You haven't heard me blame anybody for being on steroids. You haven't heard me blame anybody for it. It was, I mean, they weren't testing. It was legal, whatever. Or maybe it wasn't legal, but whatever they were doing, they did it. Everybody was doing it. Major League Baseball was involved. They knew it. Let it ride, people. Let it ride. So somebody said, bring it back. Baseball was better. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I mean, first of all, there's not a lot that's more exciting. I love postseason baseball. I love postseason baseball. I love it. But I like seeing a whole bunch of home runs. I like seeing guys throw 120 miles an hour. I love it. So it's their body. If they want to do what they want to do, more power to them. More power to them. So Brock Purdy, MVP. Stop the cap. And you know what? I'm going to get used to this, y'all. I'm going to stop getting used to this. A 48-year-old man, I can be young, can't I? I'm going to start using. Stop glazing Brock Purdy. Stop the meat riding of Brock Purdy. Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm going to start using it. Before I refused. I said, I'm not doing it. I'm too old. I'm not going to do this nonsense. But damn it, everybody else can tell me to do it. I'm going to tell them. I'm going to start getting into my vocabulary. CMC for MVP. I like that. Look, I love Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson will win the MVP, but I think CMC deserves it. I thought Tyreek Hill, if he got to 2,000 yards, he deserved it. This was a year that no quarterback just stood out and did anything crazy. So that's my whole thing. Oh, well. QB play this year was horrendous. Yeah, buddy. QB play this year was not good. It was not good. You know, we've seen multiple years where guys are throwing for 5,000 yards, 38, 40 touchdowns. That wasn't the case this year. It was almost like defenses caught up. Defenses caught up. And Lamar played great down the stretch. There's no denying that. And I'm also not going to be a prisoner of, hey, Lamar's got to do what he did in 2019, because that's not fair. You can't compare everything to with his best year, just like Mahomes. Mahomes' best year, if he doesn't do that again, that doesn't mean he had a bad year. So Lamar didn't have a bad year. It just wasn't spectacular. And if there was ever a year that we were going to give the MVP to somebody else, this would be the year. But they won't do it because Lamar Jackson's team record, somebody put that over on TikTok, his team record was so good. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. And YouTube, I did not forget about you guys. The system did not connect, so I can't see all your comments. My producer's in the back. He's doing his best, but I can't really see it because, again, I'm 48 years old, so I can't see the comments. But I acknowledge that you guys are there, people. I acknowledge that you are there. I did not forget about you. They're doing funny stuff to us on YouTube this morning. Funny stuff. So, yes, my producer in the background. What am I coming on, bro? What am I doing? Where am I going? Tell me where I'm going, and I'll go with you. Still say Bonds is the best. Barry Bonds is the best. Mike the Ruler. Barry Bonds is the best baseball player I've ever seen in my life. Barry Bonds is the best baseball player I've ever seen in my life. I just don't know. I don't know what to tell you. He's the best baseball player I've ever seen. And I get that steroids helped him hit the ball further, but does it make your your eye-hand coordination better? I don't think it does. It makes you hit it further, but does it make your eyesight better? I don't think it does. So I don't know. Griffey is the best baseball player I've seen. Bonds was better than him. And I love Ken Griffey Jr. I love Ken Griffey Jr. Hell, that's growing up as a kid. He's not too much older than me. I had a pair of Ken Griffey's, and I didn't even play baseball because you were able to buy the tennis shoes. I bought a pair. Love Ken Griffey Jr. Bonds was better than him. He just was. Mark McGwire, stop the nonsense. Stop the cap, Chuck Miller. Stop capping. Yeah, I'm getting used to it, people. I'm getting used to it. Ty Cobb is still the best hitter. And you know what? Ty Cobb could be the best at whatever. But when you're a racist, I don't give a damn what you are. I'm not going to acknowledge anything that you do. Period, point blank. So, sorry. And if that offends people, okay. I don't care. I don't care. Not to mention, look, I acknowledge everything that happened before 1947. It all happened. But if you weren't playing against all the best players, can we really say that everything that you did is better than everybody else? That's all I'm going to say. If what you did, and it wasn't against all the best players because they weren't allowed to play, can we just say that everything that you did was all-time greatest? I don't think you can. I don't think you can. That doesn't diminish you. Because, again, we don't know that you wouldn't have been great with all of them. We don't know that. I'm just saying there's a question. We got to ask question. Somebody said he's not at all. I'm assuming you're talking about Ty Cobb. Did you talk to him and know that he wasn't? Because everything that you read says that he was. But if you're a defender of racism, there's a door you can leave. There's a door you can leave. Ted Williams, favorite baseball player of all time. I love Ted Williams. A friend of mine actually met Ted Williams. So, Ichiro is not better at hitting than Cal Ripken. I'm just not even going to acknowledge you anymore because you're in here just talking nonsense, and I refuse to go down that road. I'm talking about the best hitter. He's not the best hitter. Who, Ty Cobb? I appreciate it, Christopher, for you explaining that. I apologize. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, anything that happened before they allowed everybody in to play, I'm just not going to sit here and say that you're the best. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. And it doesn't mean that you aren't. It just means we don't know. That's all. Doesn't mean you weren't great. It just means that you don't know. Chipper Jones, the best hitter. Chipper Jones is not even the best third baseman. You can't compare eras in sports, in my opinion, especially 100 years ago when athletes are better now. I love that opinion. Because my thing about it is if you give all those athletes from 50, 60, 70, 100 years back, if you give them the technology of today and nutrition of today, how good could they be? Like, for instance, Babe Ruth was big and fat. He wasn't an athlete. He was really good, but he was big. Now, who's to say, I don't know how much Babe Ruth weighed. Let's say he weighed 250 pounds. Now you give me a 265 to 270 pound cut up Babe Ruth. What does he do? What does he do? So, dude is lost. Wake up, big guy. If I'm lost, then you can't find me. So, but yeah, that's my thing. Give those people the technology and nutrition that they have today. Who knows? Who knows what they could be? But that's why it's crazy to compare eras. It's crazy to do it. Tony Gwynn, outstanding. I got to love Babe Ruth for the simple fact he was a regular guy that could hit a ball. Yeah, buddy. Babe Ruth, just a normal fat guy out there hitting balls 400, 500 feet. And then would go out at night, screw every woman that he could, come back the next day and do it all over again. So Babe Ruth is irrelevant in this conversation. No, he's not. Jason Varitek. Now people are just throwing names out there. I get it. Pete Rose. Pete Rose needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And I don't care if Pete Rose bet on baseball or not, which he admitted that he did. I don't care. He still went out there and had over 4,200 hits. What the hell? I don't care. So I love it. Look, I get that people are going to do something. You got to have some integrity to some stuff. I 100% agree. There's got to be some integrity. There's got to be some rules. But baseball didn't allow betting. That was different. That's different. But if you didn't catch him betting and you couldn't prove that he bet while he was playing, Babe Ruth ain't going in, or not Babe Ruth, but Pete Rose isn't going in the Hall of Fame as a manager. And that's when they proved that he was betting on baseball, is when he was a manager, not while he was playing. I'm not saying he didn't do it while he was playing. I'm just saying they never proved it while he was playing. Well, he's not going in as a manager. He's going in as a player. So, yeah, somebody says like Reggie Bush without NIL. That is insane. The thing that pisses me off about the whole Reggie Bush thing is that Reggie Bush got his Heisman taken away, okay, for stuff that's literally legal now. Johnny Manziel admits to cheating the whole time. Nothing. There's not even a mention, not even a sniff of them coming after his Heisman. Nobody's saying anything. And again, I don't even agree that they should take Johnny Manziel's Heisman away. I just think they got to give Reggie Bush his back. That's all. That's where I'm with it. That is where I am at with it. So, yeah, I love Babe Ruth. I don't think Babe Ruth is the best, but I love that Babe Ruth, what he was doing. Just like I said, going out, eating 75 hot dogs, screwing every woman around, hitting balls 400 to 500 feet, come back and do it the next day. So, all right, people, we're going to shut this one down for the day, man. I appreciate everybody being here. Again, everybody that's on YouTube, I appreciate you being patient with this. I really do. Thank you guys, man. Stick with us. Come back again tomorrow. It'll all be fixed, I'm sure. If you're over on TikTok, if you're not following, please give us a follow, man. We do this Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Please be here tomorrow. More importantly, tell a friend. Give us a follow. We appreciate it. We hit almost 8,000 likes today on TikTok. We appreciate it, man. Our goal is 5,000 every day. We got almost 8,000 today. So, love you guys. We appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow. Aloha.